and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna explore Park Победы here in Moscow, which is called the Victory Park. And I think this is one of the most amazing places in Moscow, visited by thousands and thousands of tourists every year. And this is gonna be just a quick tour, kind of a teaser to maybe inspire somebody to visit this park when you're in Moscow. So yeah, join me in this walk around the park. So in Russian this is called Park Победы, which is translated as the Victory Park. And this is the main symbolism of this place. It's actually the biggest monument to all the wars that Russia fought in. And behind me you can see the first monuments that are dedicated to the First World War. And there will be many monuments throughout this park dedicated to different wars that Russia fought in. And right now I'm walking into the main alley of this park, and you can see there's this long row of fountains that ends up in this huge monument. And that monument is actually quite interesting. Once I get there, I'll tell you an interesting fact about it. So there it is, the central monument of Victory Park here in Moscow. And this is actually the tallest monument in all of Russia. It stands 141.8 meters tall. And that number is actually quite symbolic because it represents 1,418 days that the Second World War lasted in Russia. And if you take a closer look at the monument, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's actually engravings of different soldiers in different war moments, and the names of the cities of Russia that are cities of war glory. And yeah, this obelisk is so tall, and at the very top of it there's a angel of war. I believe this is a goddess Nika, and two angels trumpeting her victorious and glorious arrival. So just behind this monument you're gonna arrive to the entrance into the Central War Victory Museum. And there are actually several museums spread all over the territory of this park. So if you want to visit all of them, you're gonna need at least half of the day and just walk around the park, because this is a huge territory. So take that into account if you're visiting Park Победы. But in this video I'm not gonna take you inside all those museums. Instead, I'm gonna take you to the coolest place of this park, which is also a museum, but an open air one. So let's go into that part of the park and check out some military machines. This place is really cool, but watch your head, because I'm 6 foot tall and I'm barely fitting under this construction. But this looks like a battlefield, or more or less a representation of such. And as you could see in the entrance of the museum, there was lots of tanks, German, some Soviet tanks as well, and they are actually not replicas, they are the real ones that fought in the Second World War. And there's, I believe, a German tank. Oh, and this is one of the coolest monuments here in this museum, open air museum. This is dedicated to the dogs that took part in the war, because as you can imagine there were lots and lots of dogs that also served in the military. The fact that this dog is on the tank, the track of the tank, actually represents the fact that there were some dogs that were basically suicide dogs that blew up tanks. They had I believe, mines attached to them, and they were trained to run to the tank, and unfortunately their sole mission was to actually blow up the tank and die, unfortunately. And this is the monument to all the dogs that fought in the war. If you think that those artillery guns are big, check out this big boy. You could probably blow up some serious buildings and stuff with this gun. And now we're entering the aviation part of this open air museum. And here you can see all the Ils and MiGs that fought in the Second World War. Yeah, these are all Soviet machines. Fighters, bombers, transport planes, the whole lot. And now I'm walking through the alley to enter the second part of this open air museum, which is going to be the naval part. Oh, and by the way, if you're visiting this park with your kids, they will have a blast here. I mean, like these playgrounds like these are scattered all over the park. There are many places where you can eat some food, some hot dogs, some sweets, and you know, you name it. You can find pretty much anything to distract your kids in this park. And here goes the naval part. Obviously there aren't that many ships here, but due to the constraints of this is a park, this is not sea museum, but they actually built a couple of small lakes here to put these ships here. So just finished the open air museum exhibition, and it was amazing. If you enjoy military machines, you'll definitely love that museum, and you can spend hours there just going through all the planes and tanks. And if you're a foreigner especially, you'll love the fact that they have all the descriptions for each military tech translated into English, but obviously you can hire a guide probably in any language. And the ticket for this open air museum exhibition is only 300 rubles, which is like $4, like really cheap and good value. And I'm back in the park, basically coming towards the main monument that you saw earlier. And here is another one that's, I think, is very symbolic and very important monument. This is the one to all the allies, because obviously Russia was not fighting the Second World War alone. Here's a British, American and French military men standing next to the Soviet one. And yeah, there's a lot of symbolism. There are lots of monuments in this Victory Park. And if you like this video, hopefully this will inspire you to visit this park if you're in Moscow. And again, you can spend just an hour here, just go around this park and, you know, check out all the monuments and just have a general overview. But if you have more time, you can visit lots of museums here. You can spend a good half a day here, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So thanks for joining me on this quick overview of Victory Park here today in Moscow. I hope you enjoyed this video, and in the coming days I will be updating my channel with more tours like this around different unique and interesting locations around Moscow. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.